to find 11 incredibly talented young people that could dance, that could be funny, that could act, that turned up on time and were consummate professionals through the entire thing. Not one prima donna amongst them. And believe you me, after 25 years of working in television, that's incredibly unusual on most TV sets. Hi, my name is Lisa Holdsworth, and I created and was one of the writers on Dreamers. In one sentence, why should you watch Dreamers? And this is going to be a long run-on sentence because I am a writer and I'm allowed to do that. So, because it's joyous, because we worked really hard on it and we did it for an audience that we hope will love it. The dancing is fantastic because there's some good snogging in it. I just think you'll really love it and you'll love the characters. That was a long sentence, I do apologise. So it's a really great story that we're telling, particularly Puppy's journey through the episodes. But the dancing is extraordinary. So if you love dancing, I cry every time they dance because I think it's so beautiful and so creative. It's funny. Our extended cast did a lot of improv, which is really hilarious. You're going to care about those characters a lot. You're going to root for the goodies, and sometimes you're going to root for the baddies. There's no real baddies in this show. So I think it's just a really enjoyable show. It looks great, the cast are gorgeous, and like I say, the dancing's amazing. So just buckle up for a really fun show.
Who are we? Shuffle Town Collective. I can't hear you. Who are we? Shuffle Town Collective.
I'd been working on another project, and Duck Soup called me in for a meeting. And as I went out of the room, they sort of called me back. It was just an off thing. Would you like to make a show that's basically Fame set in Leeds? And the word yes couldn't have come out of my mouth quick enough. I was obsessed with the kids from Fame as a child, and it was probably the show that makes me do what I'm doing now. I knew I wanted to be in show business, so it felt like the perfect show for me that had been made. It's Leeds, and it's got dancing in it, and young people. I've written for young people all my career, so being able to represent them, which I think is really important at this moment in time. And then when they start talking about the ambition for the trainees behind the camera, street casting I've never been more excited to work on a show. So it was an absolute no-brainer when they offered me it.
How's easing a bit, all right?
Good luck.
It was really important that the stories reflected young people's true experiences, and I think often shows with young people are either incredibly negative and show them at moments of crisis that you don't know how they're going to get out of, existential threat, or they're so sunny and positive that they don't feel real. And we wanted to find a middle ground. So one of the rules we had very early on is that not everybody in the dance class is doing it because they want a career in show business. A lot of them are doing it because it's their friendship, their friend group, their extended family, almost a place where they feel safe and seen and wanted. And I think so many young people need that at the moment. So that was the theme I really wanted to bring out, but also the pressure that's on young people now, particularly post-lockdown, the anxiety that they feel, where they're finding their place in the world, and a little bit how, I'm sorry, as grown-ups have let the younger generation down as well. We're not perfect in any way, shape or form. So that reflection comes through, particularly our three leads, the pressure that Puppy feels to succeed, to please her mum, how Kobe has true ambition but doesn't know how he's going to achieve it financially, and the pressure that's on Liam because his mum's a little bit flaky and lovable but flaky, and he still has massive responsibilities, and how they can forget it all when they get in the room and start dancing. But there's also romance, arguments, excitement. They go out on the town, and a bit of scandal as well, so we threw a lot of that in as well. At the moment there's lots of representation of young people on television, and some of it is really dark and feels a bit dystopian, and I think often reflects a little bit how young people feel about the world. And I think it's really important that the experience I've had working on Dreamers has instilled such a hope in me for the next generation. the young people that we work with, the young people we did workshops with, the young people who ended up on the show, are all individual, hopeful, joyous, committed, hardworking, and I don't think we see enough of that when we see young people, particularly young men. So I have a little bit of hope for the future, because some really great people coming up and we need to support them. I'm born and bred from Leeds. So writing a show set here that reflects the people who live in Leeds has been a bit of a lifelong ambition, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, it was the thing that sold the show to me, that I was going to be able to work in Leeds, and also just have a 20-minute drive to work, to be honest with you. So I think Leeds has done okay on television. There's been some good shows made here, but probably just showing one aspect of Leeds. So Chapeltown is an area that hasn't been shown on Leeds, and it's incredibly diverse, really rich in culture, particularly dance culture. And some people might not see it as beautiful, but I do, because it's so reflective of the people who live there. So getting that up on screen felt really fresh and really new, and felt really real. So that felt important to me. This show is for fans of Fame, but you're probably all too young to remember that, but you should go and find it. It's a great show. Glee, maybe a little bit, if you liked that sort of performance stuff. Heartstopper, if you like a bit of romance. Yeah, I'd say those three. If you enjoyed those, you're going to enjoy this show. The biggest selling point for me was the opportunities we were going to provide while making the show. So we had 10 trainees behind the camera, all in different departments: production, locations, makeup, wardrobe, and they brought something extraordinary to the set, a freshness and an enthusiasm. Often sets, when you stood in the rain waiting for the third take of a shot that you don't really need and everybody's a bit miserable, can be hard. But we never had days like that, because there were people who were learning on the job, really excited to be there, really believed in the show. So that was amazing. A lot of those trainees have gone on to continue working in the industry, which is really important to us. But then we street cast our main cast. They're all unknowns. We saw, I think in the region of 1,000 people, including the workshops and everything, for the parts. And as a writer, it was almost an overload of input, because every time we found someone, we wanted to incorporate their reality, their personality into their characters. So they did loads of workshops once we'd cast the 11 and found the big three. But to find 11 incredibly talented young people, not all of them want to act, some of them want to go behind the camera now, that could dance, that could be funny, that could act, that turned up on time and were consummate professionals through the entire thing. Not one prima donna amongst them. And believe you me, after 25 years of working in television, that's incredibly unusual on most TV sets. So again, they made the whole situation just joyous, and I can't wait to see what they do next. Hopefully another series of Dreamers.